All right, I know I'm feeling nibby about everyone's inside spaces because of this COVID-19 stuff. So I figure maybe you might be interested in seeing my Hoya collection. So a lot of those are centralized right here on this shelf. So let's get started. To the top shelf, even though it might not be terribly easy to see, I do have. This is just a regular like desk lamp type thing, but it has a grow light bulb inside of it. And I have here two Hoya affinis. That's what this guy is. From Logi's. They're really not growing the same. You can see that this one is a lot smaller. The coloration on that one leaf isn't quite as nice. I bought two of them because I was thinking, well, I might want to pot them up together, so I'd have this and that together in one pot and just make a nice full plant, because when you buy these little plants, let me show you the pot this is in. They're just teeny tiny little, basically just cuttings that have been rooted. So I'm not sure what I should do. If you have any thoughts on the matter, please share in the comments section. So that would be this plus that smaller Hoya affinis. If I don't end up doing that, if I just keep this one, then I will probably just sell that in my Etsy. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but anyway, coming on back, this little guy, maybe it's easier if I bring him out so we can see. He's very tiny. This is Hoya Matilde, and this poor baby I got in the winter time, and all of the leaves looked like this, just terrible yellowy green. And since then we've got all this new bright shiny, I mean you can really tell the difference even in the texture of the leaf coating. It's got that cuticle that's real shiny. It has real pretty little, and same thing happening over here. See, you can see the old leaves, how rough they looked. I think I actually lost a piece that was right there, but then here are new leaves, and some more new leaves, a teeny tiny little new leaf. I really love this Hoya, so I'm hoping that this one will turn into one that is a really nice looking specimen. For now, it's just gonna have to be a little bit sad until we get a lot more new growth on there to kind of make up for all the sad old growth that's there. If you follow me on Instagram, this is the stem cutting from my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma back there. And sometimes those start and sometimes they don't. Let me show you one that has. This right there is just a stem. There was no leaf or anything like that attached to it. Of a what? This is a silver sword philodendron. And actually the stem cutting was twice that length, and I've already cut off like a sizable plant from this and up potted it, and then I kept this piece of stem because it has that tiny leaf. So it does work, just not all the time. So same here, this is a leaf that came off of a philodendron, or I'm sorry, Hoya macrophylla splash. You can see it's just a leaf, and it may do something and it may not, but I'm always willing to give fun a chance. We'll see what happens with those. And the very last is maybe one of my most favorite Hoyas, even though it's super teeny tiny. Look at this. This is my hand. Just so tiny. This is Hoya rotundifolia, and the shape of these leaves, it makes me so happy. I love it. And this little pot I really love too. This is so small that the pot is too big for it, and the pot is absolutely teensy. It is from one of my favorite local houseplant stores, which is called Stump, and that is in Columbus, in the German Village. No, did I get that one? Yeah. That one was from the German Village location. I've gotten other things from the Italian Village location too. I really like that there. So let's move down to the next shelf. So this is a different light, obviously. You can see these are super bright. Really like them. They're pretty new. I've had the one up here for quite a while. These ones are a new addition, and just because I've been filling up my shelves and light is not filtering down the way that it was, the more full your shelves are, obviously. So I have been trying them, and so far I've been seeing really good results. I will show you. This first one is Hoya obovata, and when I got it, it was this leaf, and this weird not obovata shaped leaf. And all of these three are all new, plus I have another little bit of growth there, and of course it's continuing on. So it's liking it really nicely under here. I also have pretty decent humidity in here. I do have a humidifier right next to this shelf. This is the Hoya macrophylla splash that I took the leaf that's on the shelf above from, and it is a real beauty, but it had a really hard time in shipping too. I did order a lot of Hoyas kind of during the winter time, and it turns out that's just, even with heat packs, it's just so hard for them. I have this little bit here. From here up is really dead. And this went all the way around. It wrapped all the way around like twice. And I was thinking, oh, it's gonna have so many beautiful new leaves. But as of right now, the only new leaf is the one that is pretty obviously different from the others. And it's colored really beautifully, and it's a lot larger than all of the other leaves on this plant are. So again, that's happened since I've had the grow light installed here. So it seems to be liking it. Next to that is a plant that I'm growing out, but I'm not planning on keeping for myself. This is Hoya pubicalyx Royal Hawaiian Purple. So you can see that the leaves are starting to take on that purpley color. Here is, I don't know if it's picking up too well on the camera, but what I love is these are the most crazy of growers. This shoot is going up behind the light, and then it comes up right here in front of Hoya Matilde, which is adorable. That is a pubicalyx for you. Those are crazy growers. Oh my gosh, I just realized because it's hanging in front here that I didn't show you this lovely Hoya. Let's not skip that. This little pretty is from plantsarena.com. So Hoya linearis, if you aren't familiar with it, I'm sure you are, because it is all over Instagram and everything else. It's kind of really backlit. Let me try this angle a little. Isn't that pretty? I really, really like this Hoya, and I like the way that it hangs down to the shelf below. I mean, it keeps on going. It's actually gone past the second shelf. So pretty. And such a nice Hoya, so easygoing. I don't know, at first when I started hearing about them, I was kind of worried that that would be one I wouldn't want to try, but it has done nothing but bring me joy. It's just a really nice one. Below that is Hoya, heartleaf Hoya, and this is no white margins or variegation on the inside. It's just a regular old, I need to move linearis out of the way. So the only thing, and I don't know, this didn't grow anything until from right here, and that again was when I put the grow light in. However, This is a new leaf, and you can see how strangely it's shaped. Normally a carrii leaf is pretty much flat like a paddle, and that is just not the case here. So I'm wondering if this is a light issue or something else. I'm not terribly concerned about it. I'm just going to keep my eye on it, see how things go. So that is the only new leaf also. All of these were on the plant when I bought it. I bought that from a lady who actually sells almost all succulents. Her name is Terry, and she sells on Instagram, and I think she has a website now, and her shop is called Little Succulent Shop. So moving over, I have a little rainbow. I make these little rainbows to decorate my plant shelves. Actually, I very first made them to be coasters, like to set your plant on, but they're too pretty for that, aren't they? So now I just display them because I think it brings some nice, like a nice pop of color. It's like, if you're an outdoor gardener, it's like putting annuals in with your perennials just to make them extra pretty. I really like that. So here is another Hawaiian purple. This is pubicalyx Hawaiian purple. This one is growing even more crazy than the other one we were looking at. You can see we have one shoot going out and over here to the obovata, and we have three others over here, and these are all new tiny leaves. Sorry, the lighting's really weird. So anyway, the coloring is nice. We're starting to get darker kind of purple leaves. They have nice splashes, but what these haven't done is get the spots that have, well, this has a pinkish cast. Maybe it's not reading on there a little bit, but the one that I have in a west facing window, which is bigger than these two that I have here, it has pink splashes on it from just basically sun stress, and it's beautiful. Okay, next shelf down. I don't think I have any Hoyas. I don't. I'll just show you really quickly though. That is a very sad plowmanii. Sorry, philodendron plowmanii. And Birkin. Look at those leaves. So beautiful. The newest leaf is, I can't get, not pretty. And look at the red on the stems. It just, I love it. And this is a silver sword philodendron. Just got moved out of quarantine. When we do quarantine in this household, it is serious quarantine. That's been quarantined for like almost 3 months. But anyway, another pretty rainbow. I love the colors in that. And the next shelf down, oh, this shelf doesn't have a light. So I have the light here that actually shines over the Hoyas and then down onto the philodendrons. And then the next shelf down has its own light, and then the same thing, the shelf below that doesn't have its own light. It just uses the light from the shelf above. Okay, this is a Hoya, I won't say it correctly, I'm sure, heuschkeliana, something like that. This is from Steph Hall, from her plant shop called The Plant Hall, and it's a nice little one. It's a real nice one. It's coloring up a little bit with the stress from the lights, and it's put on tons of new growth. This is all new growth, I think. This is all new growth. These are all new. And this little bit, these two leaves here are new. So that's going to be a nice one. I think it enjoys, it's enjoying getting a little bit of not sun stress, but plant light stress. This is a Hoya Rebecca, also from that same shop, the Plant Hall. And look at the tendrils on this guy. They come all the way to the front of the shelf. And this one, I swear, I'm gonna get in close on this leaf and see if it will focus. I swear if I can get it going good enough, it's almost gonna look like a Hoya sunrise. I assume that Hoya Rebecca likes to have a little bit of stress on its leaves. So it is just showing a little bit of signs that maybe it's going to give me some red coloration, and I really hope it does. It's beautiful. It's going to need to be put up probably on a trellis, but for now it's just going to lay across the shelf bottom like this. And over here is Hoya lacunosa, also from the plant haul. This is like the plant haul shelf, and you can see tons of light stress on this one. I actually don't know if I'm going to keep it here because I don't know how much it's going to enjoy that, although I do have tons of new growth. Look at this tiny leaf. It's like brilliant red or magenta. So if it keeps giving me new growth and not causing me any reason for panic, then it will stay right where it is. If it's not, it'll be moved. And moving over to the last Hoya on this shelf. This one is absolutely brand new to me, and I'm so excited to own it. My husband, oh, look at this pot. Isn't this beautiful? This is from Leaf and Clay, which they sell succulents, but man, if you like smaller pots, they have a really nice collection, or they did the last time I was there. I haven't been on their website in a while, but oh, I'm crazy about this one. And they have another one called Chocolate Chip, which is this like white but with little black dots in the clay. It's beautiful. Anyway, this Hoya my hubby won for me on an eBay auction, and it is so beautiful. Look at the size of the leaves. And these leaves, it's Hoya vitellina. I think it's Splash. Yep, Hoya vitellina Splash. And these leaves can get, again, like the purple or pink speckles on them. They're huge. So it is pretty new. It has just gone through just a very short little period where I monitor for insects or whatever. I know Gardino's is a fantastic nursery, but I just do that with everything just to be sure before I put it in with my main collection. And then I moved it in here under the lights, and it seems to be doing okay. Not too much, just a little teeny bit of new growth there, and I don't see any new growth here yet. So we'll see. Below that, I don't have. Do you love this rainbow? I love this rainbow. The yellow and pinks. So pretty. And I had to have the pink because, of course, oh, this Calathea white star. So good. And that is a Monstera, oh my, Sandaleana variegata, or albo variegata. So anyway, one last Hoya in this location, and that is this beautiful Hoya macrophylla, albo marginata. And isn't she lovely? So much new growth on this one, and it's just like out of control. So I know since we're in the spring that this is just gonna take off and go bananas, and I can't wait. The only problem is, and you can probably see it as you look up at these shelves, once these Hoyas really get to growing, where are they going to live? Because none of them are going to be teensy tiny. Some of them already really aren't. Like this one, really, I couldn't fit it on this shelf. It was going to be touching lights. On this shelf, it was going to be touching lights. So yeah, I've got my hands full. I'm either gonna have to get rid of plants or buy more plants and lights, or plant stands and lights. Just don't tell my hubby I said that. Okay, I took this one out of the window because it was going to be completely backlit, and I really wanted you to be able to see the color on some of these leaves. Look at this. Wow. This is a Hoya kentiana variegata. or that is how it was sold to me. I still am not entirely sure that there is a difference between a Hoya kentiana and a Hoya Viola. I've yet to see anyone who can show me something definitive, maybe blooms, which I certainly haven't had. As you can see, I just watered this poor thing. Look at those leaves all curled up. But they're right in, this is right directly in a west-facing window. It has kept this variegation, this pink coloring. Look at this. My gosh, look at that leaf. It has kept this beautiful variegation all through the winter. And the leaves that don't have variegation, see the solid green ones with like the dark margin, I don't know, that looks an awful lot like Viola to me. So anyway, put your thoughts in the comments section if you or if you have some knowledge to drop on us about how you can tell the difference between the two other than blooms. Even if you can tell the difference by blooms, I would love to know. Here is my other Hoya pubicalyx Royal Hawaiian purple, and there is the pink speckling. It's not reading terribly pink here, but you can trust me. It definitely has a pink cast as compared to some of the other leaves, if you can see behind it, that are definitely more white. Is it going pink? I can't tell. Oh, I wish I could make sure that you really got to appreciate it. It's so beautiful. So that obviously is a new leaf, and it has tendrils growing crazy, just the way a pubicalyx does. Here's another one going down. And I'm really, really happy with this plant. The west window seems to be a really good location for it if you want it to take on that kind of a coloring. Although I do have those splashes, I don't have any new growth that is like a dark purple. So anyway, that's okay. Next goal is to get this guy blooming. Ooh, yeah. This is my Hoya curtisii. I'm going to just lift and show you. Okay, there we are. We got to the bottom. This plant, it just, you can't stop it from growing. Look at how beautiful these leaves are. Those little splotches are like mint green almost. They're so delicate. And the leaf shape in that little spade is so sweet. But I mean, these leaves have like tripled in size. I've had this plant just over a year, but it's a crazy grower. And the tendrils, what I tend to do is just take them and literally just flip it up over the top. You can see where I did it with these. Just literally flip it over the top and let it keep going down the other side. And it is a real tangled mess. When this guy decides to bloom, I probably won't even know. I had to take it down out of the window that I keep it in, because it was so backlit you couldn't really see and appreciate just how beautiful of a plant it is. I really like this Hoya. Okay, it's been like 2 weeks since I recorded the stuff that you've already seen, and I really am just trying to get this done, this video done, so I can put it out to you. But I have really busy time ahead of me in the vineyard. We are getting ready to plant 1,000 new plants, and so I'm just going to try to get this out and published before it's October. But anyway, this monster plant is my Hoya carnosa compacta, and it is 4 years old, and as you can see has some amazing growth on it. And it's been, well, I should say I've had it for 4 years. It may be older than that, but I will come up close, because when I was trying to untangle this pubicalyx from, I'll show you up close, I found some umbels. So we're gonna have blooms on this, and it'll be for the very first time. So I'm absolutely ecstatic. Hang on. Okay, moving up closer here. So here is the pubicalyx. It's just doing its thing. They like to wind and twine around things. And so I was moving that around, and that was when I came around this side and saw, where are they? Here they are. Saw these little guys. So we have some some flowers forming, which is really, really exciting. I can't even express to you how hard it has been having a plant for as long as I've had this beautiful thing and never have blooms from it. That's where the pubicalyx comes out. What a strange little thing. It twines around everything. It's doing it over here into the curtains. It's a mess. So anyway, the only place that I have found blooms so far is on this very, very long stalk. I haven't seen any blooms on the others that are much shorter. So we'll see if that happens. Now behind this compacta, I'm sorry, it's terribly backlit. This is my Hoya, oh dear, burtoniae. And this is the one that has been giving me just billions of blooms. You can see right here, we have all the, this has bloomed, oh gee, 2-3 times. You can see the spur there, and it's got them all over. They're here, they're up high in the plant as well. They're just everywhere. So it's a really, really nice plant, and it colors up beautifully. That's better. That's a better view. Colors up beautifully with the sun. This is an east-facing window, so it gets morning sun, but then none of the harsh afternoon sun. And it's just, if you have a chance to get a Hoya burtoniae, I highly recommend it. Then moving down below, I have, oh, just one other look at these. Aren't they pretty? And that's my Senecio, it's trailing jade. And I don't even think it's a Senecio anymore. I think they reclassified that one actually to like a Clinia, something like that. Anyhow, this is another Hoya pubicalyx, but this is not Royal Hawaiian Purple. And so this guy is massive. He's huge. I have tendrils absolutely everywhere, and it was hanging in my son's bedroom until recently, which was a west-facing window, and we got all of a sudden, out of nowhere, some burnt leaves. So this is something that can happen if you've never had it happen before. It can happen if you have like a lot of dreary days, and we must have had enough of these crazy dreary days in a row that when the sun finally came out, the leaves were like, what? And then I ended up with this leaf damage, which is unfortunate, but it does happen. Also, I wanted to show you the planter. This is by Helen Levy Ceramics. She is in Brooklyn, I think. Isn't that beautiful? And perfect for this crazy, crazy Hoya. I love it. This is Hoya Viola, and I'm trying to get him in frame, but I can't. He doesn't actually have a home upstairs yet. I have, until recently, been keeping him under grow lights in my garage/basement area, where I grow most of my succulent plants and a lot of the plants that I have in my Etsy shop. So this was just one that wasn't doing very well, because I had a whole batch of Hoya Viola, and so I took it and planted him in here, and he's looking really nice now. He's cute. I love the planter. That is from Urban Outfitters, I think. A gift from one of my besties. This is Hoya Carnosa Krimson Queenº, and I got this when I was shopping in German Village, which is in Columbus, with one of my sisters, Laura. And I have two of them. I actually haven't decided. When I bought them, I was going to put them together in one pot, and I think I probably will eventually, but it's in this window where I have lots of little plants and not really room for a big planter, so that's why they've remained separate. But I love this little section of bright pink and white leaves. I mean, that's so pretty, isn't it? Just a beautiful, you know, the regular Hoya carnosas. There's a reason why everybody loves them, and it's because they're great growers and they're absolutely beautiful. And this is Hoya Carnosa Krimson Princess. So you can see a lot of it doesn't have any variegation at all. And I think it's probably just something that happened when it was being planted up, I'd probably just have regular Hoya carnosa mixed in with Krimson Princess. So I have both, and it doesn't bother me at all. I love it all, but that is kind of hard to beat. And look at that. This is in an east-facing window. Look at the stems, how pink and pretty. I love those leaves. That creamy color is really nice too. You know, when I'm looking at a Krimson Queen, I love the bright white, but when I'm looking at a Krimson Princess, I love the creamy color. I love it all, honestly, which is probably why I have them all. Well, as many as I can buy. So anyway, it's a pretty good sized plant, and honestly, I think I've had this one for quite a few years as well, and again, no blooms as of yet, but I'm hopeful because I'm having some Hoyas coming into bloom this season, so maybe this one will surprise me with some blooms that would not make me sad at all. All right, the very last Hoya is my most brand new, and this is Hoya Viola. And this plant is a cross of two Hoyas, and I can't remember one of the parents. One of them is the Hoya Rebecca, which I'm probably not pronouncing correctly, and you can tell this has that kind of strange paddle shape to the leaf. I can't remember what the other parent is. I will put it up on the screen. And this is brand new to me. This leaf looks like shipping may have done it some harm, so I'm hoping that it's not too stressed. I put it in a clear pot initially, thinking I would be looking for root growth, but I'm actually very seriously considering putting this plant in some I'm very seriously considering putting this plant into some lechuza pon and a lechuza planter as well. So if you'd be interested in seeing that as a video, comment that below. If you have any suggestions for Hoyas that I don't have currently but you think I should own them, please let me know. I'd also really love to know if you have some favorites and some that you really cannot stand, like, you know, the hard to handle ones, or ones that maybe you have they have died under your care, whatever it is. I'm interested to know it all, so share that below, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.